Hey guys, I'm back. Took a week off, had to deal with some things, and also felt like I didn't have a lot to talk about Thanksgiving, um, because my video before that was on Thanksgiving, and I kind of basically told you exactly what happened. Um, Work and food. That's it. I didn't really have anything cool to share, so I just took the time to deal with some things that were going on with me, and now I'm back. So. If you haven't watched any of the guys' videos yet, um, this week is basically just a series of questions presented by our viewers and probably our friends and family that they want to know and that they want us to answer. So we're just going to get down to it. I'm starting to think I should have known a long time ago. The more that I've kind of looked back at my childhood and some of the things that I've said, decisions that I've made, and just things that I did, um, looking back, I'm kind of like, and I didn't know this. Interesting. So, but I didn't figure it out. I didn't really know what transgender was until I got older, in like my early 20s. Excuse me, sorry. And it it wasn't until then that I kind of figured out, like, this is probably who I am. But it took a lot of research. It took a lot of thinking and self-reflection to really kind of realize that this is who I am. Makes more sense than anything else I've even tried to do or be or anything. So I would say mid 20s, because I'm 29 now, and I've been on T for like a year, is when I was really like, okay, I need to, basically I need to own this. But like I said, there could have been a lot of like aha moments, had I known what being transgender was as a kid. But progressional, I should say. Like I just said, I kind of realized it when I was early 20s, but I only told one, maybe two people, and then I just sort of ignored it. And I told a couple of my friends who actually knew some people who were transitioning. Started meeting people and kind of figuring that out. Started telling some of my close friends, some of my, not necessarily my family members. They didn't find out until later. I don't know. I told friends first, just until I was sure, and then I told my sister and her boyfriend at the time, and then I told my girlfriend, and then I told my parents. My family, aside from my sister, were kind of the last to find out, but everyone's been really supportive. It's taken a few people some time to kind of, no pun intended, transition over to different pronouns and a different name and all that, and for some it's still taking some time, and that's okay. I'm not the kind of person who's going to get bent out of shape over something, especially if someone's known me for, 29 years. Transitioning is a transition for everyone. So, yeah. Hopefully they'll figure it out eventually, and they'll get on board with everyone else. But I'm a patient guy, so I'm not too crazy about it. One person said, "I'm in a situation where I cannot come out. Therefore, transition is out of question. How do I deal with the thought that my body will never be the way I want it to be because of my inability to transition early?" Well, I, having really kind of ventured into the community, mostly via Instagram and YouTube, I've seen a lot of guys who are doing a natural transition. And by that, I mean they're working out, they're kind of, you can sort of train your voice to be lower, changing their diets. There are some, I think, like vitamins or something, or things that you can pick up at, like a vitamin shop, um, or like the, local drugstore kind of thing that can sort of naturally, help build muscle, help, like, do this or the other. I mean, you could stop shaving, like your armpits and your legs and all that stuff. Um, so you don't, being transgender does not mean you're on hormones. Being transgender just means that you 100% feel that you are essentially in the wrong body or labeled as the wrong gender. You don't have to be on hormones to call yourself transgender. If it's what you believe, if it's who you are, that's all you really need. There's no like checklist of things to like fulfill. If you can't be on T now, that's okay. Maybe you can be down the road. Maybe you're afraid of shots and you don't want to be. Or maybe, even like the creams and stuff. Maybe that stuff is just not available to you for one reason or the other. That's okay. There are a lot of different things that you can do to change it. I think there's a dude called, I think his name's Carter, that I follow him on Instagram, and he's been doing like natural transitioning, and this dude looks awesome. I don't remember if he started T yet, if he like just recently did, but he was doing natural transitioning for a while, and he looks great. So honestly, there are guys that have naturally transitioned, that you wouldn't guess are transgender. You would just think they're regular dudes. So yeah, it's all good. Like, if you believe it, if you feel it, if you have the confidence in yourself to go out there and be like, "What's up? This is me. Like, I'm a guy. Whatever." Own it. Really, just own it. Um, I'm a work in progress. I'm a hell of a lot farther than I used to be, but I'm a work in progress. Which, oddly enough, even when I was that little angsty teenager, um, I consider myself under construction. I didn't really know what it meant, other than the fact that I knew I wasn't 100% me, and I wasn't 100% happy. I knew there was something that needed to be fixed. I just hadn't put my finger on it yet, and now that I think I have, I'm still under construction. I think I'm always going to be. I think we're always working on ourselves. Um, as far as the transgender aspect of life, I there are more days where I see myself and I think, yeah, I look good. When I started, I wasn't like that. It was kind of the opposite. It was very like, I don't know, this isn't, whatever. But I think the longer that I've been transitioning, the more confident I've become, and the more confident people have told me that I seem. The more comfortable I'm becoming with myself. Um, there is one thing that I'm being very impatient about, and that is a beard. Um, but all good things come to those who wait, and I just have to be very patient. I'm a very, very patient guy in everything else in my life. at work, at home, with people, with whatever. But when it comes to this part of me, it is ridiculous how obnoxiously impatient I am. And Lori can attest to that more than anyone else. Yeah. But this isn't bad, and I'm okay with this, and it's fine. And my voice is I think still getting lower. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't done a check in a while. Lori seems to think it has. I don't know. We'll see. Well, Google is probably your greatest friend at this point, because that's what I did. I looked it up. I looked up places in my area that deal with transgender people, transgender topics, transgender healthcare, all of that. I looked them up. I looked to see what was the closest, what kind of reviews there were. I could have called, talked to some guys, kind of did a little extra research, but it was a place that I knew was a trusted facility, and I emailed one of the people to just be like, hey, I'm interested in this, just wondering what I need to do going forward. And this lady emailed me back, talked for a little bit. She called me, we set up an appointment just for a consultation. I went to that and talked to the doctor, talked to a counselor, a therapist or something, so that they can kind of gauge where I'm at. And then 2 weeks later, I had my first appointment and my first shot, and the rest is history. So it's just a lot of looking up, around your area and looking to see, talk to some other guys, there's guaranteed there in somewhere in your general area, there's probably someone who's transitioning, whether they're transitioning to be a male or they're transitioning to be a female. Either way, they can help you. We should be able to help each other. If you're having trouble, post up something online, or ask one of us. Come to the 7 Trans Guys Instagram. Send us a direct message, and we'll post up and we'll ask any of our followers if they know anyone in the area that can help. There's a lot of Instagrams that are basically anything FTM transgender related that you can send messages to and be like, hey, I've got this going on. I just want some extra information. If anyone can help me. I've seen a lot. I've answered a lot. I think that's how I got this job. I answered someone's questions about some things, gave some advice. Yeah, we're a pretty supportive community. So don't be afraid to just ask. We'll help each other any way that we can. I don't know if there's an age. I also think it depends where you live, what country you live in, what state you live in. That I think really depends on your health coverage, your medical, providers, all of that stuff. Because I know in a lot of different states, even getting on hormones, you go through different things. Where I'm at, I went in, I talked to them, I gave my consent of I'm in the right mind to give consent to this hormone therapy adventure of my life, and that was it. I talked to them. I said, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm absolutely sure. I signed a piece of paper that said I was sure, and that was it. There are other places you have to go through counseling. You have to, get like a therapist note that says that, yeah, like this is serious. This needs to happen. And yeah, I don't know about other countries. I don't know a lot of guys from the other countries yet. But I assume, much like anything else, every country's got their own. Every country and every region of said country has their own rules and regulations. As far as prices of tea, I would think it's probably the same. My insurance covers it. I usually only have to pay $30, I think, every time that I get my refills. So, not do surgery. You don't have to do surgery. It's the same as what I said earlier, where you don't have to be on hormones. You don't have to get surgery to be, to transition. There's some guys that they work out enough and their like chest just sort of, the pecs build, and yeah, there's still some extra like fatty tissue there, but you can't hardly tell. And I mean, you can wear like compression sports bra, binders, all that stuff, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way and not wearing it all the time, you're not destroying your lungs and your ribs and all that stuff. You don't have to get surgery. There's no requirement. So, yeah, there's my 2 cents on that, I guess. 9.5 times out of 10, I do it the same way that I always have since I was potty trained. The whole standing thing is going to take some finesse, especially with the thing that I have, and I'm not really in the mood to learn all of that yet. Mostly because it's difficult, and I don't have the time or the high anti-embarrassment level to figure that out yet. One day I will, and I will conquer it, and it will be awesome, and whatever. But until then, that's the glory of the stall. You can do whatever you want, nobody knows what you're doing, and it's fine. They've all been pretty supportive. I've gotten messages from my aunts, from my cousins, and they've all been really cool. One of my cousins came to LA to visit, and we got in like a whole fairly deep discussion about it. And it was actually kind of cool. He was a little worried that maybe he was, asking too much or whatever, but I was like, no, dude, this is awesome. Let's have this conversation. Let's do this. And it was like no filter, no shame, nothing. Just like back and forth conversation about it, which was kind of funny. Yeah, they've all been pretty cool. I'm going home in about 2 weeks for Christmas, which is the first time that I have been home for Christmas, at least since I started. Last year I went to Connecticut with Lori, but I'd been on T for like a month, and so it was like, you can't really tell much. I went home last April. Again, not a lot had changed, but this is definitely different. I definitely look, sound, and feel different than I did the last time that I was home. And there are, I would assume, some people in my family that may not know, that are either going to find out the day that I see them, or are going to be told before I see them, like, hey, this is the situation. Also, since I'm going home, I just recently went and got my hair cut. I didn't do it myself because I wanted to get it properly done so that I don't look like a fool when I go home. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway. Probably not. It terrifies me because it has a very sensitive area and a very complex area that, one, I never want to even think about existing in ever. Mm-mm. And to have someone, like, camped out down there, like, rearranging things and, like, cutting things open and attaching stuff and all that, just, the stitches and the swelling and all, it's just, I can't. I don't want to. Plus, heard a lot of, I've seen some guys that are going through it where it is, like, a multi-surgery procedure for some of these guys. And I'm like, I don't have the time or the money or the need or want for that sort of thing. I don't know how these guys have the time or the money to do all of this. I'm impressed. I will be honest. I'm a little jealous, a little impressed. I don't know. I don't want it. I feel like I don't need it. It's fine. I like females. I appreciate a strapping male form. Um, I mean, there have always been guys that I found attractive, even though I'm 100% attracted to women. Um, but I think a lot of my attraction to a guy is seeing them and going, I want to look like you. Can I please look like you? Can I have your arms and, like, your facial structure and, like, your, like, chest abdomen area? Like, if I could, pick pieces off of people and just combine them onto me, or not combine them, make them me, then yeah. Um, well, to me that sounds like a really dick thing to say. It also sounds very close-minded, and I don't like it very much. If someone said that to me, I would probably laugh in their face and get very upset. Um, but I also be like, that's great for you, but it will make you look like a damn fool not to get a little extra in my vocabulary. It will make you look like a fool later when I very much don't look female at all. I mean, I don't really look like it at all right now, but, like, a couple of years from now, I intend to not look female in any shape, way, or form to the outside eye. So if anyone's like, you're always going to be a woman to me, I'm like, well, that's going to be a problem for you later. And that sounds like a personal problem, not my problem. Have fun with that, and let me know how far that gets you in life with your, close-minded opinions of reality. Well, the most stressful thing about being transgender is being transgender. Is the fear of passing, honestly. And the dysphoria is pretty stressful. As far as my family knowing, I don't know yet. I'll let you know after Christmas when I've been home long enough to see my family. Um, and then we will talk and we will see. I don't think it's going to be that stressful. I think the stressful part right now is the fact that I'm going home to see my family. It's going to be like, okay, we're in this now. Like, I am here. Like, I'm not a video on the screen anymore. I'm not, a picture on Facebook. I am here in the flesh. Um, this is, this is reality. No, nay, never, no thank you, at all, ever, in my life, not, no. Mm-mm. Even when I was younger, this body will not be pushing children out. Even before I realized I was trans, I was like, I am adopting, or someone else can have my child. Like, not this kid. Ever. There will not, no. Nope. Just not for me. Not my thing, not at all. No, thank you. No, ma'am. No, sir. Hard pass. Um, I mean, I don't necessarily see it. I'm not entirely sure how to answer that question. Mostly because I assume that I will probably always need hormones to stabilize this. Like eventually, right now, it's just doing all of the work on the inside to really change things and really get me to that point. But I think at some point it's going to have to level off. My body's gonna start kind of doing its thing, and then I'm either gonna have to, do less of the shots or stop or whatever. I don't know. Um, I mean, I will always own the idea of being trans, um, because that's just me. That's who I am. It's how you know. There's not really going to be anything where I'm just like, no, I'm not trans. I'm a man. Like to someone who doesn't know me, who might ask me and be like, this is none of your business. Um, but I'm not about to disown an entire community that I have been happily a part of um, since I first discovered it. I'm not going to disown the idea that I'm a trans male because I know where I came from. I know where I've been. I know what I've been through. When I'm, you know, pushing 50, old man Logan will know and will probably still have video proof of this journey and will be more than happy to share it with others. This one kind of got lost in the shuffle. It was one that I added because um, it it came from Lori's mom and her being the faculty advisor of the GSA at her school, um, and there being some trans kids in her group. She wanted to know, what can teachers do to help trans kids in the classroom and like the overall school environment? Um, Having been well out of school before I realized this, but looking back at my school experience in general, um, my answer to this would be to be open and accepting, um, and to talk to the students that are going through this. Um, Give them a place that they can go to feel like a GSA community group, because there's no worse feeling than to realize that you are something other than what you've been perceived for X amount of years of your life, and be like worried that it's a bad thing, that you're gonna get backlash from it, from your family and your peers and your closest friends, from teachers, from everyone. So building a safe haven, finding them like a safe community they can be a part of to really like be who they are and express themselves, even if they're not ready to tell anyone else, to tell their friends, to tell their families. Just giving them at least even one person that they can talk to, that they can trust, that they know supports them, is probably the best thing that you could do. It's along the same lines as coming out as gay or bi or whatever. It's a huge thing. It's a huge step, and especially being trans. It's like everyone has seen me as this gender, and I don't see myself like that. I see myself as the other one. But holy shit, that's a huge change. So I think the best thing you could do is just be there, talk to them, educate others, educate the other students. You don't have to, obviously don't put a spotlight on someone, but stand up for the students. If you see them getting bullied, if you see them, if you hear someone talking crap about them, take a stand. Like, you're the adult in this situation. Like, don't allow bullying at a young age to like be a thing. Don't encourage like poor behavior, because all it's gonna do is teach them that it's okay to be jerks, like to be what's the word? I don't know. It just encourages hate, and tells them that it's okay to like reject the unknown, and that's just silly. So yeah, be an advocate, be a support, be an ally. Just be there. Just give them something that they know they can trust, and some support that they know they have. Educate your students. Educate your faculty members. Educate your school board. Because Lord knows I've seen enough where the school board has done a transgender person wrong. Yeah, it's an educational environment, and that doesn't stop at the students. Everyone should be learning all the time. Like, just because your colleagues are college graduate, master degree, whatevers, doesn't mean that they don't have something to learn as well still. We are a human race that is always evolving and learning, and that should continue until the day you die. So yeah, I think that's all of my rambling. Hopefully this video works. I don't know what next week's topic is. I don't know if I got the text and just forgot. But tune in next week. We'll be here. It'll be awesome. Watch the other guys' videos. See what they have to say about things. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all next week. Good day.